Welcome to this explainer. I'm so glad you're here with us today. We're going to embark on a journey that will fundamentally shift how we view the everyday things we buy, use, and eventually throw away. When we think about waste, we usually picture overflowing garbage bins, recycling trucks, or landfills. We tend to think of it as an end-of-the-line problem. But what if we've been looking at this entirely backwards? Today, we're diving into circular economy design and looking at why true sustainability isn't just about cleaning up a mess, it's really about architecture.
I want you to hold on to this core mantra for me. The bin does not create waste, design does. Think about your kitchen after a huge, wonderful family meal. By the time the scraps and leftovers actually reach the trash bin, most of the really important decisions have already been made. Decisions like how much food was prepared, what kind of packaging it came in, whether you had a plan to save anything, or if those leftovers could easily be reused for tomorrow's lunch. The garbage bin is just the final visible step. The waste itself was actually created much earlier in the planning phase, way before the leftovers ever hit the trash.
Okay, let's dive into this. If the bin isn't the real culprit, then we really need to change the questions we ask ourselves. Instead of asking where the waste goes, we need to ask what decisions upstream made waste inevitable in the first place. Understanding circularity requires us to look past the garbage bin and examine that upstream architecture. When a product is glued together or overpackaged or made for just one single use, the entire system is actively pushing that material towards disposal. The path was literally set before you even bought it.
Section 1. The hidden logic of linear systems. To really grasp circular design, we first have to uncover the hidden logic of the world we currently live in. It's a system that most of us consider completely normal, but it's based on a massive illusion. The idea that materials are only meant to move in one direction. It's a linear system, and it has a very short story. Extract raw material, manufacture it, sell it, use it, and discard it. Think of this as a one-way road that only leads out of town and never loops back. Cars can move incredibly fast down this road, but there is absolutely no built-in return path. If you want to bring something back, you need a completely separate road, extra fuel, and a lot of extra effort. Linear systems are incredibly efficient at sending material forward, but they are just terribly weak at bringing anything back. Disposal is literally built into the design. Because of this one-way road, linear systems normalize some very specific behaviors. First, value is front-loaded and then lost. Imagine cooking that massive meal, but having absolutely no plan for leftovers. All the effort is up front, and the rest is just lost value. Second, speed beats durability. If everyone expects disposable cups at a party, nobody plans for washing or keeping track of them, right? Their only job is to disappear quickly. And finally, separation makes return difficult. Linear products often glue different materials together. Think of it like mixing fine sand into a bowl of rice. Both materials still exist, but trying to separate them to get clean rice again is nearly impossible and terribly expensive.
So the absolutely crucial point here is the incentive structure. A linear system is built for throughput, and it rewards extraction. It makes money when new materials are pulled in and new products are pushed out. It's like a business that only makes money by selling you more and more single-use water bottles. They have literally no incentive to help you drink less. A circular system, on the other hand, is built for return, and it rewards stewardship. It's like being responsible for the town's water tank. Suddenly, you care deeply about leakage, refilling, cleanliness, and long-term performance. You aren't just rewarding the bottle, you're rewarding the care of the whole system.
Section 2. Keeping value alive through nested loops. Now that we've guided ourselves out of the linear illusion, let's step into the circular reality. In a circular economy, the goal is beautifully simple but deeply profound. Reduce the chance that useful material becomes waste too soon. We want to keep value in motion for as long as possible. We can visualize this as a ladder of nested loops. Many people hear circular economy and immediately think of recycling, but recycling is actually at the very bottom. It's the last resort. Think of a wonderful physical book. It can be read by you, then lent to a friend, then sold to a secondhand shop, then donated to a library, and only eventually, years later, recycled. The paper doesn't become waste the moment you finish reading it. By designing for options like repair, reuse, and refurbishment, we preserve the highest amount of value before ever having to break the product down to its raw materials.
But here's the catch. You can't just design a great product and hope for the best. You need 3 specific elements to align perfectly into a coordinated system. First, the product itself. Say, a smartphone beautifully designed with screws instead of glue so it can easily be taken apart. But you also need the business model. If the phone company only makes money by selling brand new phones, they aren't going to support a resale market. And finally, you need the recovery system, the infrastructure and data to trace those parts when the phone is finally returned. If even one of these elements is linear, the circular loop completely breaks down. By understanding this, you are no longer just a passive consumer asking, where does this go when I'm done with it? You're stepping into a new identity. You are now a system thinker. You are someone who looks past the end-of-pipe disposal problems and evaluates the hidden upstream design pathways. You can now clearly see that some things we call waste problems are actually just design failures. You stop seeing waste as a mystery, and you start seeing it as evidence of the system's architecture.
So, as we wrap up our time together today, I want to leave you with this really powerful thought. The bin does not create waste. Design does. The next time you're at the store or shopping online, I want you to look closely at your next purchase and ask yourself, what was this designed to become? Was it designed to be a brief moment of convenience before disappearing forever? Or was it beautifully designed with a second life in mind? Once you start viewing the world through this lens, you see the pathways everywhere, and you realize that preventing waste is entirely in our power.